Tunosangana, tunosangana kuZimbabwe. Tunosangana, tunosangana kuZimbabwe. So anyway, excuse my excitement. Today is just one of those days. I feel as if I've been waiting for this day all my life. 14 years. It's not a joke. It's a long time. I'm talking about Air Zimbabwe, of course. When I saw the aircraft touch down in Harare at Robert Mugabe International Airport, I got emotional. Actually, I cried. The reason I got emotional is because of something that I feel as Zimbabweans, many Zimbabweans have forgotten. And that is progress doesn't have to be perfect for it to be meaningful. It doesn't have to be perfect. We don't have to wait for perfection before we can celebrate. Because as I said in the other videos, this to me is a much bigger story. Because for months, since this news about Air Zimbabwe coming back to London broke out, I've been hearing a lot of comments and I've been reading many comments, Zimbabweans saying, oh, it'll never happen. We've been through this before. And honestly speaking, I can understand that because disappointment has taught us as Zimbabweans to protect ourselves. Disappointment has taught us to expect the worst because that has always been our experience. So I can understand that completely. But today, I want us to pause. I want us to pause because what landed in Harare was not just an aircraft. To me, it was a reminder. It was a reminder that countries don't move forward by waiting for perfect conditions. You don't have to wait for conditions to be perfect to make progress, to actually move forward. Because what Zimbabwe has done with the Spanish crew or the Spanish agreement, what they've done is not something new. Because I've been doing a bit of digging and I discovered that, some of the world's biggest airlines have done this. They lease aircraft, and even some of the most successful airlines have relied on partnerships and wait leases to launch routes. They've done this and to expand their networks or recover after difficult periods. This has been done before. Zimbabwe could have waited until they own every aircraft. They could have waited until they've solved every problem in Zimbabwe. They could have waited. But guess what? Waiting for perfection. Perfection is a terrible place to wait because you'll be waiting forever. So instead, Zimbabwe found a way to connect with its diaspora, with one of its largest diaspora community. They found a way to deliver that direct route. Does it mean that this is the final destination? Does it mean that, things are going to end there? No. But as I said, this is the beginning of a new chapter. And this chapter matters. It matters because, 14 years is a long time. It's not a joke. 14 years of connecting flights, connecting two flights sometimes, going via South Africa, going via Kenya, going via Ethiopia, going via Dubai, all over the place. At the end of the day, Zimbabwe is a country that is using the same kind of partnerships that airlines around the world use every single day. They're just using the playbook that other successful airlines use to get out of troubling times. So I don't see it as a weakness. I don't see it as failure. I see this as movement. It is a step in the right direction. That's how I see it. I see families finally finding it easier to come home. I see students finding it easier to travel back home. I see tourism made easier. I see connections. I see businesses. I see ideas coming together much easier. I see Zimbabwe reconnecting with its diaspora. I see national pride being restored. And that is much bigger than aviation. It is much bigger than just the aircraft. And I want to be very clear. I need to be very clear. Celebrating Air Zimbabwe coming back to the UK does not mean that we are forgetting our problems. It does not mean that our challenges are over. Far from it. Zimbabwe still has challenges. We still have so much work to do. And we still need to hold our leaders accountable. I believe in the good fight. Trust me, 100%. But guess what? Accountability and hope are not enemies. These two things can exist all at once. We can still demand better from our leaders. We can still demand accountability. We can still demand transparency and all of that. We can still fight the good fight and still celebrate. Both can exist. You can do both. And what worries me when it comes to us Zimbabweans, it's not the skepticism, because being skeptical is healthy, because you can't just accept anything and everything people tell us. I mean, history has taught us not to. So skepticism is healthy. But what worries me is the fact that as Zimbabweans, we have been disappointed for so long that we find it difficult to recognize genuine progress. Yeah. I mean, as a citizen, I don't think, I mean, it's not a good place to be in, because at the end of the day, that's your country. You still have to live in it. And as I always say, we need to learn to separate individuals from the country, from Zimbabwe, the soil. I mean, I always say soil because I want to be very clear and to make sure that we are distinguishing as to what I mean when I say separating Zimbabwe from individuals. Because at the end of the day, no one owns Zimbabwe. Our leaders don't own Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe belongs to the people. And what the people want, I believe, is to see our country prosper. It has got nothing to do with one individual or two individuals. That's the way I see it. Because when our first instinct is to tear everything down, even if we can see it with our own eyes, if that is our first instinct, then at what point are we going to start celebrating progress? At what point are we going to start allowing ourselves to see progress and to appreciate it? Because if we reject every step forward, then how will we ever move forward? How? So anyway, to end this video, here's what I'll say. Today is not about pretending that Zimbabwe has arrived, because we still have a long way to go. I mean, that's the reality. But today is about recognizing that Zimbabwe chose movement instead of waiting. It chose to move, to do something about a situation that had remained stagnant for years. Zimbabwe chose connection instead of isolation. And I think that that's the bigger lesson here. That's the bigger lesson. So, yeah, I don't know where you're listening from, whether you're in Harare, whether you are in the UK, London, or Australia, or Canada. I don't know where you're listening from. If you're a Zimbabwean, then I want to ask, I'm pleading with you, just for today, just for today, just for this moment, allow yourself to feel, allow yourself to feel hope. Not blind hope, by the way. No, not denial, but just hope. Just hope. Let that feeling of hope sit with you just for a moment, just for today.